Hey guys, just before we get into this podcast, I just wanted to let you know why we've been away for the past month. Technical difficulties and, of course, everything reopening around the world has kind of gotten in the way for us a bit. We did have two episodes recorded. One, the file was corrupted, so it can no longer go up. But the one that you're watching now, obviously, is fine and is going up. So this one was our theories about Loki, pretty much, and just about some news that was announced at the time, which is a bit dated now, but just hang in there with us because we should have an episode 1 review of Loki up today, and episode 2 should be back to normally when we were doing it. So thanks for hanging in with us, and hope you enjoy. Start recording now. Alrighty, well, welcome back to the Off Topic Podcast, guys. Episode 19 or 20, not quite sure which one of the two. We're at a pretty big milestone for us. But
And we didn't finish our last one, so we didn't upload that one, I don't think.
No, I've had some internet trouble as well. I guess it's more so been like the past month-ish. I have, but
Yeah, and
yeah.
when we've all been pretty busy with, things opening back up and
Oh yeah.
work schedules.
Yeah, honestly.
If nobody knows, I'm from the US, Tom, you're in Canada, and Chris is in the UK, so we're all different time zones.
Literally all of us are different time zones too.
Yeah, and well, me and you are the closest, though we're only an hour off, but
Oh yeah. It's not too
but
bad.
different work schedules.
Oh yeah. But yeah, we make it work, as you've came to see. But yeah. Welcome back to another episode, guys. As you've heard, I'm Tom. Also, no camera today. Sorry, having some technical difficulties. I should have it back and good for next week. But yeah, if you want to talk to me more, you can connect with me on Twitter at tsteinman13 or on Facebook at Thomas Steinman or in our Facebook MCU group chat, MCU Fans Assemble. So,
Yep.
And today I am joined by Zach.
I'm Zach. You can find me on Twitter, MCU Zach Crew, or our Facebook group, which you're gonna hear the name a lot today, MCU Fans Assemble. Yeah, find any of us on there, or Chris as well. Chris is not with us today, though.
Unfortunately, no. And kind of like what Zach was just saying, with everything opening back up, work getting going again, I'm sure those listening all know that none of us are making money off of these podcasts. So, yeah, we do all have jobs. And, yeah, Chris has some responsibilities for his today.
He said he might be able to make it, but I mean, it's pretty late by him
If
already.
he does.
So
If he doesn't, he doesn't. It's okay. He doesn't need to rush himself.
as long as we get him by the Loki release.
I mean, we'll probably all be on track for then.
Oh yeah, and if not, I'm sure we'll all make time for that one.
Oh yeah, 100%. But yes, guys, it has been a while since we've last talked with you. And also, like Zach said, we did not finish our top 5 movies. We actually didn't really get through Infinity War either. That will be done more than likely after Black Widow comes out, if I'm doing my math correctly for the weeks there won't be something coming out. I think it's going to be after Black Widow will be the first one. So yeah, we'll pick that up again then. But yeah, for now we're just going to look at some of the news that's been happening the past few weeks, some speculation on our end, and of course, what we think is going to happen in the Loki series, which I think probably is the biggest thing that's on our mind. So, do you want to start with that?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm down.
All right. So, I mean, yeah. Do you want to start this off?
Well, I was just gonna ask if you wanted to start it off. I gotta try and
I mean,
Like,
sure. I'll say this. I was always hyped for this show, but I felt like, why are you doing this with this character? If that makes sense. Like, it's like
yeah.
Loki's dead. He's had a completed arc now, like fully completed. Thor 1 through all, well, not all of the Avengers movies, everyone but Age of Ultron. Like, he's had his arc, he's had his story. Like, I
See,
wasn't as excited for this, and then I saw the trailers. Now I'm hearing the
oh yeah.
reports of people seeing the first few episodes, and I'm like, yeah, I think this might top my anticipation for a show. Like, even more so than WandaVision.
Oh yeah, exactly. And well, and two, like the whole plot behind it, he's fixing the timeline and like I definitely agree. It's definitely going to be probably the best Disney Plus show. It's already announced a season 2 and we haven't gotten season 1 yet.
Yeah. So,
Right?
so
That
let's
was
just say something. I think
that's
you're right.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that was confirmed. Like, which leads me to believe. Actually, I guess I'll start real quick with what you were saying. Kind of segued into that for me. Um, uh, with Loki having an arc. Uh, I was kind of reading like Loki really wasn't ever evil. Like
Hmm.
um, and I did read into it. The scepter, he wasn't under mind control over it, but it influenced him. Is the official like
Term.
Marvel like thing behind it.
Oh, like how it
Um,
did to the Avengers when they had it in the same movie,
y-
just kind of in their
y-
possession.
yeah, it influenced the negative side of him. Showed him like the bad parts. And which started making me think like I think we're gonna get a whole nother arc of Loki turning good. I mean, if you
Yes.
look at even Thor 2 Dark World, like, he wasn't really a bad guy in that, like he didn't know Dark Elf was gonna go kill his mother and all that, and the only thing bad he tried to really do was take the throne from Odin.
Yeah. And like,
And
oh man, it's just so weird. It's just this Loki literally he hasn't even experienced, okay, let's say this. He hasn't experienced anything past the so let's get a drink line in the Avengers movie. So that means no Dark World, no even end of the Avengers movie, no Ragnarok, no Infinity War, no Endgame. Well, Endgame kinda. But like, you know what I mean though? It's like, wow. Like, he's going back. He's gotta dig back. Remember what it was like to be that 2012 Loki again. From
oh
the
yeah,
looks of it
for
so
real.
far, he's been nailing it.
um, it's not for real. And I'm kind of curious if we're gonna see multiple Lokis. If he's gonna work with other versions of him.
I I don't want to say yes because I don't know for sure, but there's kind of been a rumor for a while that Lady Loki is going to be in this. So like I'm 100% on board with that theory.
Yeah, and I think that's who we see in the trailer. Like a
Yeah,
lot
who
of people
everyone
think
thinks is
it's
Nat.
Black Widow.
Yeah.
Like they think he's on Vormir, but yeah, pausing it doesn't really look like Vormir. It more looks like a quantum realm type, background.
It almost reminded me of like well, I'm gonna say Sokovia because that's the only city we've really seen destroyed. But if I'm not mistaken, was the Avengers Tower not broken in the background as well of that shot, or was that a different one? I haven't seen the trailer in a bit actually. Just a lot of the TV spots.
Now I'm now I'm drawing a blank on that. Like
I'm
I feel like since you said it, I feel like I've seen it, but I can't say for sure.
like it's in the trailer for sure. I'm not 100% sure where.
And was it the Stark Tower or was it the Avengers
I
Tower?
think it was Avengers.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank on that one.
I mean, well, we'll find out soon enough, honestly.
Yeah,
Within
what,
the
three
next
days?
weeks. Yeah, if not then within the next 6 weeks for sure.
Oh yeah.
But I was wondering. I mean, we know this is going to be a time travel type show, but do you think there are any because they've already said there is going to be some quote unquote surprise cameos. Let's not WandaVision ourselves up for this again, but like, even though we're about to, who do you think some of those surprise cameos might be? Like, maybe actors or characters in Marvel. Like, what are your thoughts?
Uh, Chris Hemsworth, I think.
Yep.
Um, and what's his name? Idis or
Oh,
Idris?
Idris Elba.
Yeah, Heimdall.
Mm-hmm.
Just because in that part of the trailer where he's DB Cooper, he's like, brother, Heimdall. Like and then he jumps out and he obviously they show him get picked up by the Bifrost.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're gonna get Anthony Hopkins. Um,
Oh
who,
yeah, because
I
he'd be
can't,
alive.
yep. Um, forget her name, who plays Lady Sif.
Oh, Jamie
Uh,
Alexander.
yep. Maybe Natalie Portman.
Oh.
Um, there was one other person I was actually thinking we'll probably see. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Thanos.
Actually, me neither. Now that you mention that, I hadn't really thought about that, but
I literally just thought of it like this second.
like, I mean, it makes sense if he's going through all the different timelines. He's definitely going to be through multiple time periods, as we've seen with the
Yep.
DB Cooper. So,
Uh, and then wow,
yeah.
what's the doctor's name? Uh, Loki puts him under the Tesseract or Scepter's
Oh,
spell in
Selvig,
Avengers.
Eric Selvig.
Yeah, I think we'll see him. Like I could actually see in the show Loki going to him for help, knowing that like him and Thor are close.
Yeah. Man, I wasn't even
But
thinking about Thor characters at all. Honestly, I was thinking so much bigger. I mean, those all make the most sense to me. I feel like those are a lot more likely to happen than what I kind of think's gonna happen.
what were you thinking?
I was thinking, well, for one, I think the whoever is ruling over the TVA is actually the Living Tribunal, because as it's been shown in the trailers multiple times, their kind of pedestal that they have is a statue of three guards kind of beside each other. When it looks like they're doing a little courtroom thing, that's there prominent again. That now that's not exactly what the Living Tribunal looks like. Like it's more of a I'm trying to remember in the comics if it's a three-headed being or if it's three
I think
person kind of
so.
like yeah, I think it's three heads. So yeah, I do think it's that. And I also think that it's a time travel show. There's one person and a huge Marvel villain who's very well known for time travel, and he's going to be in the new Ant-Man movie. I think Kang's going to get introduced in this show.
I would actually love that, and that would be cool.
Because
Um,
there's something else that the one girl working at the TVA is in the comics. She's a love interest for Kang. Mind you, I don't know who it is, and I don't recall ever reading that run.
okay.
So we'll see.
Uh, and the Living Tribunal, that actually would make sense because if I'm not wrong, weren't they actually trying to work him into Infinity War, the original screenwriting for that movie?
Yeah, I think so. That's why, like,
But
the whole staff of the Living Tribunal was supposed to somewhat have a meaning that was going to be paid off from
yeah,
Doctor Strange.
but I think they went against it just because there was already so much going on in the movie.
Oh, which honestly, not a bad thing.
Right.
Not in the least.
But we were also hoping for Adam Warlock to show up too.
Yeah. Which, even now, we're still hoping for that for Guardians Volume 3, and it might not even happen.
Right, I was gonna say like that's something that was written into the movie and it's never gonna happen. Yeah.
Hmm. Which, I wouldn't say I'd be okay with it, because I wouldn't be. I really like Adam Warlock, but his prime time to shine was the Infinity Gauntlet storyline. Or sorry, Infinity War.
It,
So
exactly. I agree. I agree. And too, like James Gunn, uh, with the Guardians, didn't he say like a lot of characters are gonna die? Um,
Yeah. I,
I'm pretty sure this is confirmed. He said after Guardians 3, I think that's it for Drax for sure.
yeah, and I think that's it. I don't know if he said anything particular about characters other than Drax, but I do know that he's done after Guardians Volume 3. And he originally had
Yeah.
like expressed interest in like potentially doing a Thunderbolts movie. He's recently kind of come out and said, "No, it looks like he's going to be over on the DC side of things moving forward."
Well, and I'm
Which
sure a lot has to do with the whole him getting let go.
which I can't blame him for
Um,
at all.
right, and then he went and did Suicide Squad and then was hired back.
Yeah.
Um, which actually I wanted to bring up real quick. Speaking of James Gunn, Dave Bautista, and Suicide Squad, uh, I was reading something, but Dave Bautista said like James Gunn wanted him to play in the Suicide Squad movie, but he turned it down
Mm-hmm.
for Army of the Dead. That just doesn't make sense to me because with Marvel contracts, when they're under a Marvel contract, they can't be in a DC film.
I think that's changed.
Has that?
Just because,
Okay.
like, I'm trying to. There's been oh, Lawrence Fishburne's probably like the best example. He was in Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, then has been in the Ant-Man and the Wasp, and more than likely will be in Quantum Mania as well.
Oh, okay,
I'm trying to think. I
okay.
think there's a few others that have done it, but yeah, that did used to be a thing though.
Yeah, probably like the first two phases, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think so actually. But yeah,
But
nowadays I
uh,
think they have a better respect for actors, I guess.
oh yeah, but I'm not mad at Dave Bautista for doing Army of the Dead. I just watched that, and that was an amazing movie.
Yeah, I didn't mind it at all, honestly. I don't know. I'm no film critic, but like, yeah, I did like it. It was nice to see a Zack Snyder film that he didn't have to actually push for it to be seen how it was meant to be seen. So
Right.
yeah, that was good to see. And you know what? Hopefully we'll get more of that from directors in the future. Will there won't be as much well, to an extent, because I think with Marvel and DC there's always going to be studio interference to an extent, but
Yeah, yeah,
otherwise hopefully get to see more creative visions from other directors.
for real.
But do you have anything else to add on Loki just before we maybe
Uh,
look at a little
let,
more news?
let me try and rewind my brain. I thought
Okay.
there was one other thing. Um, uh, I think that was mainly it. Just yeah, we could totally see another arc from him. You know.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I think that was about it. If I remember something, I'll bring it up and
All right.
yeah.
Perfect. Then I guess the next biggest piece of news would be a few weeks ago. Actually, just after we recorded our last podcast, it'll be going up before this one. Um, the Eternals trailer dropped, and that has been something that we've been waiting for a long time. And I mean, as the saga of COVID is gone with Marvel, yes, this was a film that was originally slated for November, pushed back to February, pushed back to November again, or October ish, something like that. But yeah, it's been moved around quite a lot. Um, I mean, as is Shang-Chi and Black Widow, but we finally get our first look at it. And wow, that was nothing like I had ever seen before, to say the
Yeah,
least.
as I was watching the trailer, like I forgot it was a Marvel film. Like
Yeah, like, oh,
it,
it looks so well shot.
and I'm not gonna lie, I was confused by the timeline, I guess, before the trailer dropped. Like,
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be like, you know, a long time ago, but clearly this seems to be right after Endgame.
Um, I
Or is it gonna be jumping around?
yeah, it's gonna be jumping around. So I'm trying to think how many years it's supposed to follow. Like, it's either like 5,000 or like 500,000, something like that.
Oh shit.
So it's supposed to be a long like period of time that they'll cover. Um,
Okay, okay.
yeah, there's the whole thing like that I've seen people a little upset with in the trailer. It's like we've never intervened till now, kind of like another, Captain Marvel type thing. Captain Marvel had her excuse, which was that, well, I'm helping everyone else in the world or everyone else in the universe because there's, more than one planet in the universe.
Yep.
But the Eternals, I will guarantee will be a little different. I think for the main reason they haven't helped is, and I think this is from one of their storylines. I honestly haven't read any of the Eternal storylines, so I don't know.
Yeah, same here.
But I've heard they get their memories wiped, and they more or less are kind of trapped for I don't know how long, but a period of time until they kind of snap out of it.
Regain their memories.
Yeah. And then they're like, okay, maybe we should we gotta start helping
Step
out.
in.
Yeah. Mhm. So I
See,
think
I've been seeing like uh, rumors or theories like we haven't heard of them and it had something to do with Steve Rogers or something. But I never read any of the like articles or anything that I saw.
yeah, I
Or
don't know what to
there's
think
something
of it.
about Steve. There's something about Steve Rogers and the Eternals, and something about his shield. I can't really
Oh
remember to be
yeah,
honest
there's
with you.
I'm trying to think. I think it's Sprite has his World War II shield in I don't know if it's a bar or like a little like hideout, but yeah, that's there. And then there's also what looks like a Captain America shield from I think it was in the Gates of Babylon during one of those scenes.
Oh, okay.
So I there's definitely gonna be nods, especially from the stuff in the past, just to like what came before. But yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know how much of this movie is gonna take place in the past. If oh, excuse me, if they're gonna go up or line up the timeline with Endgame and finish out after the blip.
Right. Because there's that one line in the trailer like, I can't believe Captain America and Iron Man are gone, or who's gonna lead the Avengers now? And
Yeah.
I forgot who it was. Like, oh, I will, or I
Oh yeah,
can.
it's Icarus, and Icarus is one of the Eternals who joins the Avengers. It's like
Oh,
I've
okay.
read stuff about Icarus and Cersei because they've been in like other comics. I mean, I've read some about Athena as well, but oh yeah, fun fact: Athena is Thanos' first cousin. That's who Angelina Jolie plays.
Ooh,
Yes,
okay.
so just keep that in mind going into the movie. But yeah,
Def
this is this is definitely going to be something different, and I'm very excited for it.
Same, yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, I love, the Marvel style, but yeah, seeing a different aspect of it, it's definitely going to be interesting and definitely going to open doors too for more style of movies for Marvel.
Oh yeah. Ooh, excuse me.
You're
Bug in
good.
my throat. Whoa, there we go. But
If
I
it's
mean,
hic if it's
sorry.
hic if it's hiccups, spoonful of sugar.
Yeah. Thankfully, it's not. That would be that wouldn't be too fun.
No, yeah.
But I mean, I guess moving on, there hasn't really been too much news recently, but a big thing that almost every Marvel fan and of course every Spider-Man fan has been looking forward to is the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, We're on, I believe it's Trailer Gate day number 5, because it was supposed to release on June 1st, because that's Tom Holland's birthday, apparently. But, yeah, that didn't happen, because it was unrealistic anyways. And, yeah, now there's a ton of predictions. It's like, oh, it's going to drop on the 7th, it's going to drop on the 9th, it's dropping on the 10th. Nope, it's dropping on the 25th. Zach, when do you think this is dropping? And also, do you care when it drops?
I mean, movie's not coming out till what, December?
Yep, December 17th.
And it's what, June?
Yeah, June 6th.
Well, I guess Marvel usually does do about 3 trailers. I mean, obviously any Marvel movie, I mean, yeah, I do care when it comes out.
Yeah,
But, I mean, if it's in the timeline of a month, then no, I don't. I mean,
true. I was
you
gonna,
know,
I
it,
was gonna say like, Marvel is not the ones controlling the release of the trailer, because Sony has the majority of funding into this movie, so they do a lot of the marketing and stuff like that. So that will all be
oh
Sony.
yeah, yep. And they're gonna probably try and pinch and withhold as much as they can.
It's either that or they're just gonna show everything.
Yeah, right away.
Like my fear is that we get the trailer, and the first scene is Charlie Cox, Matt Murdock like defending Peter Parker in court, and then the next scene
Right,
cuts
just
to Alfred Molina and Doc Ock, and then the next one cuts to Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, and then
right, just all these huge spoilers.
exactly, it's just like why? And Sony's pretty. I mean, a lot of studios are very. I wouldn't say. I can't find a good word for it, but a lot of the studios do tend to put the third act or final few scenes of the movie into their trailers.
Yep.
Marvel's been better at that, but even still they do it. Like, I think it was the Infinity War trailer. The scene after Spider-Man dust is right there in the trailer. Mind you, it
Oh
doesn't
yeah,
give you anything. Yep.
with Tony holding or covering his mouth.
And like,
Yep, and
yes, sorry.
I was gonna say, like from that trailer, we all figured like, uh-oh, somebody's dying. Like,
Yeah. And I mean, we didn't get it completely right, because I don't think anyone, I mean, no one that I have actually talked to went into Infinity War thinking, yes, Thanos will snap his fingers this movie. Almost
I
everyone I
think we,
know was like, oh yeah, it's going to happen in the fourth one.
yeah, I think we all talked about that the last podcast that we didn't finish. That
Yeah.
yeah, we didn't think he was gonna get all the stones in Infinity War.
Which I still can't even believe he did.
I know. It's
But,
been 3 years since that movie, and still.
yeah. Jeez. But sorry, back to Spider-Man though. um, Personally, I don't care when the trailer drops. I'm more so in the same boat as you, where it's like if it drops, hooray. If not, it's not the end of the world. We don't need it now. Like the Far From Home trailer dropped, I want to say like late May, and the movie came out in July. Mind
Yeah,
you, that was
but
because there was that was the first ever spoiler warning I've ever seen on a trailer. But yeah,
yep.
there's a spoiler warning on the trailer for Endgame, and
Uh,
so that's why that happened. But I don't know.
but with good reasoning. I mean,
Oh yeah,
I was gonna say, yeah, the reason that trailer came out so late, I mean, they kind of had to
yeah. Because I think
with
every other
Infinity War.
trailer. Oh yeah, well every other trailer we haven't even hasn't even been close to that. Like even the Endgame one, where it's basically just a few shots that literally give away nothing in the movie. That
Yep.
was released, I think, in like December-ish, and that movie came out, was it late April? Yeah, like last week April. So
Yep. Yep.
I don't know. Mind you, again, it's not Marvel Studios releasing the trailer. It will be Sony, but we'll see.
Yep. Yep. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just excited this whole year for all the films. I mean, we've said it a bunch of times already, but yeah, whole year of no content.
To a whole year of
And
only content.
yep, they're spoiling us.
Like we went WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki. Then we're gonna go Black Widow, What If, Shang-Chi, a Miss Marvel, Eternals, Hawkeye, Spider-Man: No Way Home, Moon Knight.
And then
Was
and
it
then Love and
Multiverse?
Thunder.
No, Multiverse of Madness. I think
Oh,
is
yep.
first now. Then I think She-Hulk. Then Love and Thunder. Like, wow. That hasn't even got into like Captain Marvel 2, like Wakanda Forever, the Fantastic Four movie, like
Blade.
Blade, anything to do with mutants.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Or Guardians 3 even.
yeah. Jeez. Oh man, we're gonna be well treated coming up. And
Oh
actually,
yeah,
you know
and
what? Speaking of uh, unannounced things, kind of, or things that haven't come out yet, I guess. Ryan Reynolds, as many of you will know that actor just by me saying his name. He plays Deadpool, or he played Deadpool in the Fox X-Men universe, and as it has been well said, he will be reprising that role in the MCU. Today he posted to his Instagram story a picture of the Deadpool mask in a backpack, more or less
ooh,
confirming that Deadpool 3 is either right about to start or already has started production or something.
awesome. I did not know that.
Yeah, I honestly saw it just before I hopped on.
And they said they're keeping Deadpool rated R too, right?
Yep.
Awesome.
And
I
they've
mean,
said it so many times too, because every few months someone kind of comes out with a report and they're like, hey, they said they aren't going to do this rated R. And then Ryan Reynolds and like Bob Iger and Kevin Feige come out, they're like, well, if you look at our 15 other reports that are out there, it does say we're going to be doing this rated R. It's just like, oh, okay, all right. But yeah, I'm really excited for that one. That because I don't think that's going to be our first look at mutants in the MCU. I'll say that. But it's definitely going to be our first little more or less team up with mutants. Because I,
I was gonna say,
sorry.
I was gonna, I was just gonna say like that's guaranteed. You
Yeah.
know, we'll be in the door with mutants by then. You know, like
I'm just thinking, like, who do they put in the movie? And then, even then, what do you do with the existing characters you had from that universe? Like, in my mind, Colossus, he's perfect. I would not want to recast. I mean, Cable, you could recast it, but why do it? Domino, I thought was amazing. Please keep
oh
that.
yeah,
Dopinder, if you take him out of the movie, I won't watch it. Like it was, they got a lot of great casts and a lot of great characters, and I don't know. I'm just thinking, if not all those characters fit into the Marvel Studios plan or to what their future is for mutants, like what do they do?
right. I'm sure they'll keep that casting,
I really hope so.
and I wouldn't be surprised if they did keep Cable around. You know, with Josh Brolin playing him, because I mean, especially if Thanos is done, you know, they can totally do that.
Oh yeah, and like even then, like for because there's been the brief little talks about, oh, Thanos might be in the Eternals, like a younger Thanos. I don't think that's even going to be Josh Brolin if they do that, or if they do
Right.
like something like that. So yeah, I'm 100% on board with that. I did like Deadpool 2, but I'll say this: I think in my mind, Deadpool 1 was a lot better. Maybe that's
I I do agree. I do agree.
all right. I felt like I was the only one because there's so many people who were like, oh, but Deadpool 2 was so great, and I'm like, but Deadpool 1 is just, it's ripped right out of the comics.
Yeah, I think the thing is there was like more comic, like comedy wise, like
Yeah.
hits in the second one, which is probably why people liked it more.
Yep. Which makes
You know,
sense.
like,
Made for a
well, yeah,
broader audience.
and it fits Ryan Reynolds, who he is, and every character he plays as an actor, and Deadpool. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that role is perfect for him though, because like, I mean, for those of you who didn't know, Ryan Reynolds did films before Deadpool. He was quite a successful actor. You might know him as Van Wilder or potentially Hal Jordan. Hopefully not the second one. That awful Green Lantern movie. Do not watch it. Taika Waititi's in it though. So, I mean, there's that. But but yeah, like this guy's been
and he
around
was
and just sorry.
and he was married to Scarlett Johansson.
Oh yeah, at the time of that, and then in the movie, his character was married to Blake Lively, and then around the same time, Ryan Reynolds eventually ended up getting married to Blake Lively.
Yep.
I did kind of forget about that.
And I actually did see. I think Ryan Reynolds posted it on. I don't know if it was Twitter or Instagram or something, but like he's like, oh, now that I'm in the MCU, like I know her character's dead, but if I ever like have to get cast in a movie with her, I'm not doing it. Talking about Scarlett Johansson,
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I was gonna say you can kind of tell there was something there.
some bad
Just
blood,
yeah, to
yeah.
say the least. Like I was like, oh, like especially when they announced it that like he'd be the one that they kept like before the Fox deal was even like officially announced. Everyone's like, yeah. I think Ryan Reynolds is the only safe person on the Fox side, like for the X-Men. They were right. Funnily enough,
Yep.
later that year, Black Widow ends up dying. When there was apparently a filmed thing for Hawkeye or her to die.
Right.
Yikes. I mean, either way. Ugh. Either way, both of them deserved a movie or a show. So I'm glad we're getting both a Hawkeye show and a movie.
Yep. Agreed.
But the more I think of it, the more it would make a lot more sense for Hawkeye to have died, or at least appeared to have died. And then the Hawkeye series could have just been Kate Bishop trying to pick up that role.
Yeah. Yeah. That
And
would
that's
make a little bit more sense.
and that's kind of how they did it in the comics too. Is like he dies, she picks up the mantle, and then comic book stuff. So like he comes back like 3 times, but 2 of them he's not actually back. He's dead. One of them it was Wanda manipulating reality, and wasn't really him. You see him get House of M away at the end. So yeah, comic books are great things.
Right. Yeah.
Jeez, but yeah, I'm happy with what they did for this. At least for now. We'll see how I feel in a few years. Or after the Black Widow
Right.
movie comes out.
Yeah. I'm still excited. I don't know about as excited as I was a year ago for it.
Yeah.
I keep going up. I keep going up and down with it. Like, I'm excited to see it, but then it's like I kind of lose interest just because it's been a year and a half, I think, or at least a year
Yeah, and like
since.
a big thing for me, it's like I don't know if I'm hyped to see the Black Widow movie. Which, like, okay, that's a lie. I am hyped to see the Black Widow movie. I 100% am. But I can't tell if the majority of my hype is coming from that, or if it's coming from the fact that this will just be the first film I'll probably get to see in theaters in 2 years.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
I,
Um,
I think it's a bit
the
more of that.
the only thing like keeping my excitement in it is just to see if Taskmaster lives or not, and if he's put on the raft.
Yeah, I'm
You know,
very
because
interested to see how that goes.
at first I was convinced that he's killed in Black Widow because we don't see him, in Infinity War Endgame. But I forgot about the raft honestly until Falcon and Winter Soldier,
When they mention
and
it like 8 times.
Yeah. And, now I'm just kind of like, he could have been put there, or he could be put there at the end of Black Widow. Um, and with the whole Thunderbolt setup and everything. And yeah,
No, I'm 100% with that. I think that's what they're gonna do too, honestly. Like I saw
you
one
know
leak
what? And
online. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
oh, I'm more convinced now that he does get put on the raft, just because coincidentally, you know, they were saying Black Widow was supposed to come out before Falcon and Winter Soldier, and Falcon and Winter Soldier, I know they, it was due to COVID and all that, and the Flag Smasher storyline. Could have been something else in that episode that the reason they had to take that episode out of Falcon Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Could have had Taskmaster being on the raft.
We could add a little more lines from Val. Maybe she knew a little more. Maybe Zemo wasn't the only friend that she, or the quote unquote friend that she has that she mentions to John.
Yep, that right everything right there could have been an episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
But
honestly.
but but because we got it before Black Widow.
Mm-hmm. And the way it's looked, at least, is that Falcon and the Winter Soldier is essentially the only series that was hit super hard with the whole COVID thing. Like Falcon
Yeah,
or
yeah.
WandaVision, the finale was a little like not a little. The finale was rushed. We all know that. I'm even like I just started rewatching WandaVision again. I'm on like episode 5 right now, and yeah, it's still really good all the way up. And then I just know once I get to that last episode, I'm gonna be like, ah, it feels rushed again.
Yeah.
But
Still great.
oh
Still
yeah,
great, but
amazing. Still my top one of the two canonical Marvel shows. But
yeah, yeah.
but once Charlie Cox's Daredevil is back in, I'm sure that will recapture my number one position. I love that Netflix series, the Daredevil one.
Yeah, like I said, I think I watched a couple episodes and then stopped, and I think it was taken off Netflix. Uh, I did see Agent. I don't know when it happened, but I did see Agent Carter was put on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I because now this is gonna get into the regional thing because I think it's different for all of us when it goes on. Because I've had Agent Carter the whole time.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I've had the majority of the stuff the whole time. Here, I was gonna look up because something did get added. Like, a
Was it
bunch of people were
was it the?
asking about X-Men films, and we have all the X-Men films in Canada except for Dark Phoenix.
Oh yeah, we our X-Men stuff got put on. Uh, I want to say like 6 months ago, maybe 7 months ago.
Yeah.
But Logan and Deadpool are the only two things not on it.
Oh
And and
yes.
and and Dark Phoenix, that's not on there either.
Mm-hmm. See, we do have Logan and Deadpool, but that's only because Marvel or not Marvel because actually I think it's everywhere except the States doesn't get Hulu. So we have the Star package for it, I
Oh, the
guess.
adult, like,
Yeah,
because they're rated R.
exactly. Yeah, so I just
Yeah,
sorry.
I was just gonna say I remember you and Chris talking about that before, and I tried looking into it, and yeah, it doesn't exist here.
Yeah. I mean, it's super. I think it's basically just Hulu titles kind of thrown on here. Because there's like, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is on here. Like, oh, no what? Dark Phoenix did just get added to Canadian Netflix. And I saw that's
Oh,
going up in September. Or
oh,
Netflix,
okay.
Disney Plus. It's going up in
Oh,
September
yeah.
for the States, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, I still haven't seen Dark Phoenix. Wasn't really planning on seeing it, to be honest with you.
I honestly, I don't want to say don't, but there's no point.
But I mean, if it's on Disney Plus, I will. Like,
Yeah.
but like, I had no intention of going to the theaters or renting it or
Oh
anything.
no, I definitely get that. I'll say
But
this, it's
if
not as bad as a lot of people say it is, but it's still really bad.
Well, and I think what killed it for me too was just like right before it was released, the whole deal between Disney and Fox like was official, so it was just kind of like, okay, that movie's not even like relevant then.
Yeah, and like during that whole time, it was like, oh yeah, we're gonna recast the X-Men.
Yeah,
It's
I,
like,
I
oh
didn't they say that before they even released Dark Phoenix?
yeah,
Like,
they came out and said that, and they're like, yeah, basically the only one we're keeping is Ryan Reynolds. And then I think right around when Dark Phoenix was getting ready to do like their press releases and stuff, WandaVision started filming, or like went into pre-production. So you can see in a lot of the Dark Phoenix press tours, like they're getting asked about like, oh, like what's gonna happen with your characters. Evan Peters is uncomfortably quiet.
probably because he knows he can't talk, or
Yeah.
.
And I'm thinking about this now because I read a report, I think it was a few weeks ago, that was just kind of like, Evan Peters might not be completely done.
Oh yeah, no.
Like,
I don't think they were gonna tease us with him in WandaVision and that's it.
yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen. I would very much love for Aaron Taylor Johnson. Oh, know what? There's another thing of news I guess we could talk about. Not exactly MCU. But yes, I would love for Aaron Taylor Johnson to come back as Quicksilver, but due to recent news, that can no longer happen. So everyone thanks Sony again for how much they suck by stealing things that we want, because Aaron
Uh-oh.
Taylor Johnson has been cast as Kraven the Hunter in a solo
Re
Kraven film for Sony.
really?
Yeah,
I did not know that.
yeah, that came out like I want to say a week or two ago now. That report did. Oh, comes out in
Damn.
2023. It's gonna connect to the Venom films and Morbius. And if
Okay.
judging from what they've been saying about Venom and from the Morbius trailer, this is gonna connect to Spider-Man too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for those of you who don't read comics, Kraven's most popular storyline is called Kraven's Last Hunt, where he basically hunts and kills Spider-Man, takes his suit, and does a better job than him. Um, without getting too much into it, but yeah, it's a great storyline. Because it's so well known, I guarantee you that's what they do. Just because I feel like that's a Sony predictable move type thing.
Yeah. Damn, I did not know that.
Yeah, it does not like the idea of that movie didn't excite me to begin with. And when you announce that you've cast Aaron Taylor Johnson to play Craven, yes, that's like great for him. I'm sure he's gonna kill the role. But another thing it killed is everyone's dreams of a proper Quicksilver coming back.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
So,
Like, I think people would want to see that more.
exactly. But I don't know. I've heard some people kind of speculate. They're like, oh, maybe this is like a multiverse fake out. You know, like maybe this is an Earth where Pietro became Craven the Hunter. I'm like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, that's a little far-fetched.
Yeah, like I don't know what the deal is between Sony and Marvel right now. Like if Sony can use like Marvel characters other than Spider-Man, but I don't know.
I feel like the people saying like Pietro becoming Craven, I feel like those like that would just be a lot of fan service if they did that,
Yeah.
and you know, Marvel or MCU, Disney, like they're not that deep into fan service, like because real fans just want to see close to comic book type,
That's true.
references and
That's kind of why Marvel Studios didn't really bat an eye after all the quote unquote backlash from the WandaVision finale, where it's revealed, yes, this is Ralph Boner.
yeah.
Which I forever I will love that scene.
Yup.
Oh, I mean, I don't think there hasn't been too much more news lately.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I think I'm good for the Loki series as well. Talking about that, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I said pretty much everything that's on my mind. Now I'm just waiting for it to come out.
yeah, true. I mean, if you want, we can end it here. Call it a short one today.
Yeah,
Very short
I
one.
look.
All right, guys. Well, with that, I believe that will bring us to the end of this podcast. Definitely a shorter one, but we'll probably be back at you with the 2.5 hour long ones next week once we have
Wait.
an entire Loki episode to break down.
Yup.
But yeah, until then, everyone, stay safe, stay healthy, and enjoy your week.
Have a good night, guys.
See you later.